We go to the market and purchase some goods, and at the markets, some persons sell their goods, and we also sometimes we pay the amount for the services we have taken. So, how can we pay? With the help of money, we are paying. So, in the process of trade, money has the key role in that. But in the olden times, there was no money for exchanging, for purchasing or selling the goods. For example, in Telangana, some of the districts, especially in Adilabad district, the children generally they exchange their toys made of the bamboo against the rice. So they get the rice by exchanging their toys. And you can see in some villages, generally the blacksmiths, they make the agricultural tools for the bullock carts wheel. They make the bullock carts wheel and the blade of the plow. So for making that agricultural instruments, they do not take the money. In place of money, generally they take grain after the harvest every year. By taking the grains in place of money, they are making the agricultural tools for the farmers. So this is about the trading without money. So in that situations, money was not used. But nowadays, money is a vital role in the process of trade. So this is the trading without money is called the barter system. So what is barter system? Exchange of goods against other goods without using money is called barter system. Exchange the goods against to get other goods without using the money. That system is called barter system. In the barter system, we face some problems. Generally, they faced so many problems. After facing that problems, they invented the money. Here, take one example. This example is in our textbook also. There are three persons, Gopal, Sino and Ramu are there. Gopal is goat. He wanted to buy rice. Sino is Zawar. He wanted to buy goat. Ramu, he has paddy or rice. He wanted to buy Zawar. So Gopal went to Sino and asked to exchange his goat. But Gopal wanted rice here. So rice was not there at Sino. Zawar was there. So there is no trade. There is no exchange to place between the Gopal and Sino. Okay, again Gopal went to Ramu. He has paddy because Gopal wanted paddy or rice. So he went to Ramu. It is okay. He has goat and he has rice. But here Ramu did not want to buy the goat. He wanted Zawar only. So this is the problem. So there is no exchange in between them. So how can they exchange? So these are the problems of barter system in olden days. So automatically it leads to the invention of the money in the future. We have discussed the problems without money or trading without money. Now the exchange with money. So what are the advantages? The trading with the money. So generally today we are doing all our economical or buying selling processes through the money. So money is acting as a intermediary in the exchange of goods and services. So money is exchangeable here. You can use the money for exchange the goods and services. And also one more important thing is that money is acceptable by all the people. For example, in the barter system, we have to find the same person for exchange the goods, and what he wants we have to first find out, and the same goods will be exchanged. The same persons, the desires of the persons should be matched at that time. That is the problem. But there is no problem of that. So we can buy the rice, we can buy the goat, we can buy the zower by the means of money easily. No need of the persons who are buying that particular thing here. So money is exchanged. Money is exchanged for the goods and services, and the goods and services are also exchanged by the money here. So this is the process and acceptable by the all. And also we have in the border system another problem also. The exchanging problem is there, but here they determine the value of commodity. Determine the value of before giving that, before exchanging the goods, we have to determine the value. For example, you have the goat, but you needed the matchbox. You went to matchbox seller, and can you give the goat for a single matchbox? Can you give? So you cannot give that because the value of matchbox is very low. Of course, this it is very small. But here, okay, can you divide your goat? Goat is divisible or not? It is not possible. But money is divisible. Money is divisible. Money is divisible in the hundreds, thousand to hundreds, and in rupees, and in the paisas, like that. So money is divisible. You can give 10 rupees, you can give 100, or you can 1000 give. So money is divisible, but the good or other goods are not divisible. Of course, some goods are divisible, but like the good, some goods are not divisible. So the main advantage of the money is divisible, and it is acceptable by the all, and is useful for exchange here. And also, for example, vegetables are perishable goods. Okay, they damage easily when we store for 2 or 3 days. So for the perishable goods, we have to sell them immediately. But in the barter system, there is no scope of selling immediately. But here, with the help of the money, you can exchange your goods. You can buy your vegetables by exchanging the money. So it is easily and immediately you can sell your vegetables or other perishable goods here. Immediately they are exchanged. This is another facility. And durable. You can store the money easily. For example, if in the barter system you have to store the gold, you have to store the job, you have to store the other articles, and you have to carry that goat and you have to carry that goods wherever they want. But here in the market you place that goods, and the more space is required for keeping that animals or goods, etc. But here for keeping the money, small place is required. It is convenient to us. So money is durable. And also the money is portable. We can easily carry the money with you in the bag or in the hand. Easily. It's not like the goat. So the portable, money is portable. So finally, money is working. Money has a vital role in the process of exchange. It is acting as an intermediary, and money is exchangeable, and money is acceptable by all, and money is exchanged easily, and it is divisible, and also we can sell immediately with the help of money, and it is durable, and it is portable. Evolution of money. You know the problems of barter system. People faced so many problems in the barter system. Slowly, over the time, they tried some other goods as the money. So the use of money, use of some form of money, not money. So they used the grains and cattle as the money. But it is not easy to maintain them, carry them. So money is durable, but the durability is the main problem here. Some diseases can be attacked. So these are not durable and they cannot be divided. Division was also not there. So slowly over the time people preferred some precious metals, scarce and attractive metals to use as money. So the people used to accept some metals as money. For example, gold and silver, copper, bronze, like that. Because they are scarce, so all the people accepted them. But there was a problem again. But in the weight, in the size, in the purity and in the weight. So every time that metal should be weighed, and there is a doubt of purity. So doubt of purity was created, and it is inconvenient to weigh every time. In that situation, the kingdoms, the emperors got an opportunity. So they used that metal. By using the metals, they minted the coins. So that metals were formed as the coins by the minting of the royal. So this royal mint authorized give the assurance of the quality and the size of the metals, and also the different sizes and different weights of metals were prepared in the different forms of kinds. So that was easy in those times to carry that money easily, and durability of that money also easy, and that money was divisible also. Paper money and emergence of banks. How the paper money was emerged, as the banks were emerged. Here the people used the gold and silver, other type of metal coins in that time. But if they wanted to buy the more goods, they had to carry the huge amount of coins in the bags. So this was not safe for them for storing that coins, because they traveled for many kilometers for the trade and they visited so many countries. So that was the carrying the coins was inconvenient to them. So slowly, when they visited other areas, generally they preserve that coins at the goldsmiths of that area. Generally goldsmiths protected that coins. And of course they charged some coins for preserving, for protecting that coins at them. Okay, when they took that coins and preserved at them, they had given a receipt or hundi. This receipt would have, I promise to pay 10 coins, or I promise to pay 20 coins, like that. So they gave the receipt by taking the coins, that is. Okay, when the people wanted to buy the goods, they used that receipt, that hundi used that receipt in place of coins. So because carrying the receipt is very easy than the carrying the coins. Of course, the goldsmiths became famous and trusted by the people. Automatically, the people also accepted the receipt of that goldsmiths in place of coins. So, people deposited their coins at the goldsmiths and gave some charge for that and got the receipt, and they used the receipt or hundi in place of coins for purchasing their goods. And all the peoples and traders accepted that receipts. Slowly, so many goldsmiths became popular and they were trusted by the people. And the new type of money was also created. So the deposits, the people would deposit their coins at the goldsmith. So the deposits came to the goldsmiths. So they started giving the loans to the people. So this type of banking process was started earlier. Okay, after that, there is another story of emergence of banks. But here, at the time of Mauryans and at the time of Gupta's period, so Bisant coin Bisant coin was used in the time of Guptas. That was a gold coin. In the Mauryan period, people used the Pana, that was the silver coin. But after that, like the receipt, like the money, receipt was used as a medium of exchange. So that coins were exchanged. So the coins process was stopped and they began to use the receipts based on the trust only. Then the goldsmith receipts used as the medium of exchange, and in that way the paper money was emerged. Okay, how the banks were emerged? There is a story. In Amsterdam city, it was a major trade center in those times, Amsterdam. So by using these coins that was inconvenient to the traders in Amsterdam, and especially the purity of that metal and the weight of that metal, they feared that. So they gathered and they formed a bank. In that bank, the traders would go to that bank, give the coins, and the bank would weigh that coins and declare the purity of that metals. Automatically, like the goldsmiths, the bank will give the receipts, and that receipt will be treated as money in the Amsterdam, and it was accepted in other countries also. So the banking process was started like that in the Amsterdam. This is another story about the emergence of the banks. In India also, in the olden days, there were the famous persons like the goldsmiths, the bankers. The famous bankers were there. For example, Jagat Seths in Bengal, and Shahis in Patna, and Arjunji Nathji in Surat, and Chettiars in Madras. They were the famous bankers in India also. So in the 1606 Amsterdam story completed. In Amsterdam, 846 types of coins were there in those times. So in that time, that was a major problem of purity and the weight of that metal. So they created the bank, and the banking process was started at that time. In the same way, the paper money, like the receipt also emerged in the society.